This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, starting at 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General YAHANNA. All right, we're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the lesson. You know what I'm saying? This is the Brotherhood class. So, of course, we're going to talk about things dealing with, our people and, and how much we need brotherhood and, and how important it is for us to unify in the first place, according to, the scriptures, it would behoove us to come back to these records, come back to our nationality. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Matthew 18:3. All right, so this is Matthew 18:3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So basically, basically what he's talking about is who can humble themselves like a kid, like a child, because anything you try and tell a kid or anything you try to teach them, or they just soak it all up. They're like a sponge. Most of our people, like the scriptures say, we're a stiff-necked people. So most of us want to do our own thing and believe we're individuals, and we out for our own gain. That's how most of our people are. And that's been over and over and over again. There's nothing new under the sun. So you can see that how it is today. We got our Christian pastors. They don't know the scriptures. They don't know it like how we know it. And what I'm saying is we know the truth of the matter, and they don't. They their whole thing is to deceive the people. So they don't necessarily care what the Bible actually says anyway. So, you know, they're out for their own game, you know. And same thing with these, you know what I'm saying, that Islamic religion. I'm saying you got Farrakhan and all them, you know what I'm saying? They think Fard Muhammad is the, you know, the savior or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They believe Fard Muhammad came over here to enlighten black people, you know what I'm saying, into who they are. Fard Muhammad was a white man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, Islam is an Arab religion. So you're gonna enlighten us on following an Arab religion. You know what I'm saying? That's a bunch of nonsense. You know, so you know, most of our leaders and black leaders, they're out for their own gain. Most of our people, you know, if they're not religious leaders, they're really just trying to, you know what I'm saying, live day by day and not really trying to, you know, follow anybody. They just want to do, you know what I'm saying, YOLO. You only live once, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, living their best life. You know, a lot of us will not humble ourselves to be taught or follow up under another man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our, you know what I'm saying, you can look at these other Hebrew Israelite groups. You know, they will not humble themselves and come under, you know, come into the one body under Commander General YAHANNA. They're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, they may later. You know what I'm saying? They might later. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, from what I've seen, you know, they you know, they got beef, you know what I'm saying, with the I.S.U.P.K. You know, I don't know what, they won't humble themselves. You know I'm saying, we're that one body, we're the home of the truth. You know what I'm saying? We're where it all started. But, you know what I'm saying, they like to say that we all got the truth and things like that. You know what I'm saying? All this, you know, spreading more and more confusion. You know what I'm saying? We're the home of the truth. We're where it's at. We're where it started. All right. So there's no need to go and start another body. There's only supposed to be one body. All right. You know what I'm saying? If you don't humble yourself as a child, you know what I'm saying, and come into this truth, you know what I'm saying, like, you out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, why wouldn't you come into the one body? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you, you know what I'm saying, humble yourself and be taught by another man, you know what I'm saying, or follow, you know what I'm saying? Because the Lord's always, every time Israel has risen up, there's always been one man to lead us up out of it. Always, every time. You know what I'm saying? All through the book of Judges. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I'm saying, it's been like that. You know what I'm saying? There's always been one man to lead us about our current hell. Every time. You know, so, you know, I don't see how that's, you know, especially when these other camps, they try and, you know, and go about saying how they or act like they're scholars of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like they know what the scriptures say. Well, you should know, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord has always chosen one man to lead us up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's not even, that's all through the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Which further proves that we're that one body. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna, you know, humble yourself, you know what I'm saying, you got to become new again, man. You know what I'm saying? For the people who are new to hearing this truth, you know what I'm saying, you got to become as a new person again. All right. You got to, you know, basically change your ways. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep eating pork and lobster and, you know what I'm saying, shrimp. You can't keep, you know, you can't stay on the sinful path that you were. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, especially if you coming into the truth, you now realize, you know what I'm saying, that you're an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? That Well, you have to do the commandments now, knowing that you're an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if you know you're an Israelite and you don't do the commandments, well, you know you're choosing death over life. You know you would rather be against the Most High than, you know, with him. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go about cleansing your ways. You know, you have to be, you know, go about doing what the Lord say to do. So let's get Psalms 119 and 9. All right. All right, Psalms 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. You know what I'm saying? That's how a young man cleanses himself. That's basically baptism. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to, you know, for a sidebar real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me get, let's see if I can get there fast enough. Let me get where is that? Ephesians 5 and 26. You know what I'm saying? Just to bring that out real fast. All right, Ephesians 5 and 26. All right, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So let's go back to Psalms 19 and 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So that's basically baptism, you know, in a nutshell, you know, as a summary. You know, you've got to be taught again. You know what I'm saying? What do you have to be taught? You have to be taught according to the scriptures, by taking heed thereto according to thy word. So you have to be taught, you know, how can wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? Well, by taking heed thereto according to thy word, by being taught by the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? By doing what this book say to do, by doing the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how a young man or a young woman, a young lady cleanse their way. You know what I'm saying? That's how you become, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's how you become perfect. You know what I'm saying? In the sight of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Here's a quick precept. Psalms 19 and 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. All right. So the law of the Lord is what's gonna, you know what I'm saying, make you a perfect person, man. Doing these laws and, you know, the commandments, that's what's gonna make you a perfect person. You know what I'm saying? You take heed according to this word. You know what I'm saying? You do the laws, you do the commandments. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how you become perfect in the sight of the Lord. You know, that's how you gain favor. You know what I'm saying? That's how you persuade the Most High to be on your side. You know, the Most High is he's a living God. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? He's watching. You know what I'm saying? He knows who's doing what. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide from the spirit of the Most High. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everything you do is being taken into an account. You know what I'm saying? Everything, every sin or whatever, you know, every, you know, righteous deed you do is being taken account of. So, you know, where was I getting at? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just you know, do the law, statutes, commandments, man. That's how you cleanse your way. You know what I'm saying? That's how you persuade the Most High. What's up? Ephesians 5 and 26 And then I went to Psalms 19:7. And then I went back to Psalms 119:9. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Where Psalms 119:9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way by taking heed according to thy word. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it, man. That's how you cleanse your way. That's how you become a perfect person. And you know what I'm saying, and gain favor in the sight of the Lord. So let's keep going. Verse 10. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Don't wander from the commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? You must you came into the truth because you like me, I was seeking God. Like I was wondering, you know what I'm saying, like where, you know what I'm saying, where is God? Like, is there a God? Where is God? You know, like me, I that, you know, that's just my story, you know. Like I was wondering, where is the Lord? You know what I'm saying? Is he even out there, or what, you know, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? That was before I knew I was an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's before I even knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like everybody else, I had to come into this truth, you know what I'm saying, start doing the commandments, you know, and you know, how can I say, you know, right. That's how I went about cleansing my way. You know what I'm saying? I took heed according to this word. You know what I'm saying? I started being taught again. Start, you know, I humbled myself as a child and really, you know what I'm saying, start, you know, soaking up these scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump down to verse 15. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes, and I will not forget thy word. You know what I'm saying? So you meditate in your in your precepts, man. That's how you get your precept game up. I'm saying, you know what precepts to go to, you know what I'm saying, this and that, you know. It's a big jigsaw puzzle. It's like a big Rubik's cube, you know. So, you know, you get better at it, man. You know what I'm saying? But of course you gotta become as humble as a child first. You know what I'm saying? You gotta you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find that scripture I'm thinking of right now. But yeah, you gotta, you know, become as a child first, man. You gotta be taught, you know, from the hey, what's that scripture that's talk about you got to be fed the milk before you can? Okay, here we go. All right, this is First Peter's 2:2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, you got to start with the milk first. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you come into the truth, it's like being a newborn baby. You got to start with the very simple scriptures, you know, like being, you know, knowing that God does hate, you know, that, you know what I'm saying, brotherhood is very important. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the two greatest commandments, you know what I'm saying, is that we love the Lord with all our heart and we love one another. You know what I'm saying? That's an actual commandment. Those are the two greatest commandments. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, very, very light things, you know. So, and then eventually you get to the meat and potatoes, you know what I'm saying? You get into, you know what I'm saying, the you know, mark of the beast, and you know what I'm saying, the you know what I'm saying, the everybody wonders what the 666 is, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, things like that. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Matthew 6:21. Is that thing not plugged in? Hey, Ron, could you check if this is plugged in for me? If the laptop's plugged in? I thought I plugged it in. All right, so Matthew 6:21. Okay. Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you put your heart in, you know what I'm saying, whatever, basically, whatever takes up most of your time, that's where your heart is. It's going, ain't it? Okay, well then we good. It must have been something else. I don't know why I did it. I appreciate it though. All right. Yeah, so whatever basically takes up most of your time, that's where your heart's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Anything, how can I say, anything you put time and effort in, that's where you put mostly, that's where you're most passionate about. If it takes up most of your time, your heart is more into it. You know what I'm saying? If you were, how can I say, if you were, I'm saying, creating music, 10 hours a day, and that's where your heart is at, because it takes a lot of energy, to do something like that. I'm saying it takes a lot of, for that long. You know what I'm saying? So how many hours you put into something, that's usually where, what you find most valuable. So where for where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. You know what I'm saying? It's real simple. So right. So it's, real simple, man. So let's go ahead and get Mark 8:36. All right. Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So what is it gonna profit you that you out here, all you thinking about, your treasure is constantly chasing money. You're a hustler, so you always chasing money. You always trying to get more of it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you always trying to get the next come up or whatever. What does it profit you? You know what I'm saying? If you gain this whole world and lose your own soul. You know what I'm saying? Because those who endure to the end, you know what I'm saying, in this one body, they get, an everlasting crown. You know what I'm saying? Their souls are saved. You know what I'm saying? Those that endure to the end, those are the ones that shall be saved. So if you're out here just chasing money or doing, whatever you want to do and things like that, there's no profit in it. There's no real profit in it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to gain a profit out of a kingdom that's already fallen. You know what I'm saying? White man's kingdom it's falling, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole tide's about to turn in a minute. So I'm good, sir. You know what I'm saying? The whole tide's about to turn in a minute. So to do, you know what I'm saying, trying to become famous or trying to get fame and glory in this kingdom, it's damn near worthless, because it's a fallen kingdom. It's, you know what I'm saying, there's no point in striving to really, I ain't gonna say make so much, but to, really prosper, and in this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because what's really valuable in this world is your own people, man. I'm saying you're nothing without your people. So you're really only as good as your people. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know, it doesn't matter how much you try and how can I say, you know, ignore your own people and their poverty and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't ignore that. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? You out here trying to befriend a white man and trying to get in good with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's pointless. All right. So let's get 1 Corinthians 11 and 17. All right, 1 Corinthians 11 and 17. Now in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not, that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul was saying, we come together not for the better, man. You know what I'm saying? When we come together, it's not always to do what benefits Black people, you know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know, it like for instance, you know what I'm saying, when celebrities get together or when celebrities use their money, they always want to build a school in Africa or something, or always want to build up, you know, another nation or something. You know what I'm saying? You can see that, like how I said before, Islam. You know what I'm saying? They like to go over there to Mecca or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And worship a stone. You know what I'm saying? We've all gotten together, you know, in under Islam, and you know what I'm saying, but you know, Islam's, you know, we're not Muslims, you know, we're not Arabs. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, that's, you know, that religion has nothing to do with Blacks and Hispanics. You know, nothing at all. You know, so what Paul was saying is, you know, basically, for the most part, when we get together, it's never into building this nation up. You know what I'm saying, this nation of Israel. You know, it's never on something peaceful. That's why he said, I praise you not. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't come to you, we're not deserving of praise, you know, because we don't come together in something, you know, uplifting and, you know, something that's going to build. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we really need as a people. We need to build, you know what I'm saying, unify, you know, of course, unify under our true nationality. Unify under being, you know what I'm saying, under the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Unify on who you are as a people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of unifying under Islam or, you know what I'm saying, under, you know, the color Black, you know, it's not going to work that way because it's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just not going to work. All right. Let's get Deuteronomy 14:2. All right, so Deuteronomy 14:2. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? And holy means to be separate. You know, so when it says we're a holy people, that means we're a separate people. We're people that were to never, you know, to never mingle with other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? We were never to, you know, be joined hand in hand and saying we are the world. You know what I'm saying? That's not us as a people. We, you know, we were always supposed to have our own land and our own kingdom, you know, our own businesses and our own farms and agriculture, you know, and economy and such. You know, it was never meant for us to you know, just be up under another people, another nation, and be a homeborn slave. You know, that was never the case. The Lord never wanted that. You know, that's why we always struggled with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The curses is for our, you know, it's a consequence. You know, if you do this action, this will happen, like cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? If you do the laws, then we get the blessings. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, we're going to be overtaken by the blessings. You know what I'm saying? But if we go against the Most High, then we're going to get overtaken by the curses. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why, you know, being separate is a commandment. You know, that's not a suggestion. You know, being separate, being a holy people, that's a commandment. You know, so the Lord chosen us, man, that we were supposed to be above everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the natural order. That's the whole natural order of things. You know, like for instance, you know, if we weren't under oppression, you know, let's say everybody just started out, you know what I'm saying? All nations just started off with farms and agriculture. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know, years go by, we're going to be on top because we just made to naturally be on top. We're just naturally made to be the rulers of this planet. You know what I'm saying? The white man, he would naturally go to the bottom, naturally. Like nobody would have to force him because he isn't made to rule. The unrighteous are not made to rule because they're not fit to rule. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the only way the white man's got rulership now is because, you know, the white man's like, he's really a no people. You know what I'm saying? He really doesn't, his culture is just being a murderer and a vagabond. He doesn't really have a culture, you know, so he's really a no people. You know, that's why in them caucus, you know what I'm saying, over there, you know, them Caucasus, you know, Caucasus Mountains, you know, they don't really have any, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to grow anything over there. Right. You know, that's why he has to go about stealing and killing to make his living. He lives by the sword. You know, that's his land, but his land is so trash, like how he is. You know what I'm saying? He was really made to be up under another people, not to ever be over a people. You know what I'm saying? That's the white man. You know what I'm saying? White man is the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead. Let's get 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. All right. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. All right. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said to come out from among these people, man. You know what I'm saying? To be separate. You know what I'm saying? Step one into being separate is to do the laws, man. You know what I'm saying? To first get in the one body. You know what I'm saying? The I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't, you know, do the second greatest command. You can't love one another without being in a camp. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in a, you know what I'm saying? When I say camp, you got to be in that one body. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know what I'm saying? You're not really doing loving one another if you be in an individual, like, you know, you're not really doing all the commandments. You know what I'm saying? You're not really loving the Most High with all your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one says. You know what I'm saying? You really just want to do your own thing, you know what I'm saying, and follow your own way. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be separate. You know what I'm saying? We got to come together as a people again and realize we're all we got. You know what I'm saying? All we got is Christ, the Lord, I'm saying the Lord, Christ, and each other. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Without that, you know what I'm saying, we're like how we are now, destroyed. You know, so you know, it says that we come from among these people and be separate. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord will receive us. You know what I'm saying? If we actually do what the Most High, if we actually love one another again and seek brotherhood and seek sisterhood, you know, and do the laws, you know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to get us about this place. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take us picking up guns or, you know what I'm saying, or going up against other nations in a physical kind of way. It's not going to take that. You know what I'm saying? That we don't even have to do that. Right? You know what I'm saying? Unless the Most High order us to do it. You know what I'm saying? But we don't even have to do it. We first got to be on the Most High side. You know what I'm saying? And follow an order. You know, otherwise, you know what I'm saying, the Most High, you know, otherwise we're just going to stay enslaved. We're going to keep going back into slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures have already showed us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This whole Bible is about us, you know what I'm saying, defying the Most High. You know what I'm saying, going up against the Most High, trying to do our own thing because we just don't have enough faith in the Lord. You know, so we go up, we start to murmur. We start to talk about the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And in doing that, we end up back into slavery. You know what I'm saying? You know, all we got to do, you know, is just, you know what I'm saying, do what the Lord say to do. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? And the next verse said, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will receive us again, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will, you know, become on our side again. You know what I'm saying? He will look after us. You know what I'm saying? We're the most valuable thing to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? A brother and sister who comes into the truth, you know what I'm saying? We're valuable to the Lord. You know, we're not something that's, you know, we're something very rare. You know what I'm saying? Like scriptures say, a man will become finer than gold. You know what I'm saying? That's finer than gold, man. You know what I'm saying? That's very valuable. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll put on that spirit of immortality. You know what I'm saying? That righteous spirit. All right, so let's go ahead and get Amos. Amos 3 and 1. Right. All right, so Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. You know, so this word is for us. You know what I'm saying? Hear this word that the Lord spoken against you. You know what I'm saying? Children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The whole family I brought from the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he's going to punish us for our iniquities. Basically, us not doing what the Lord say to do. You know what I'm saying? Not doing the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Not being a brother or a sister. You know what I'm saying? Turning against each other. You know what I'm saying? That because, you know what I'm saying, not all other nations can sin. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? That's why it says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord only dealt, you know what I'm saying, with Israel. You know what I'm saying? He only cut a deal, you know what I'm saying, with his people. So he's, you know, we're the only ones that can actually do the commandments. what I'm saying? So we're the only ones that can really sin. All right. Can two walk together except they be agreed? You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? They have to, you know, you have to be on the same page first. You know, you have to walk down the same path. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have to be in agreement. Like how it says, you have to be in agreement. Y'all have to be on the same page. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? One mind, one accord, one body. You know, y'all have to be going down that same path, you know, for you know, to even unify. You know, if somebody believes they're a Muslim, you know what I'm saying, you know you're an Israelite, I'm saying y'all can't go down the same path. He trying to get into the Arab world while you trying to, you know, persuade the Most High to be on your side. It's not gonna work because he over there worshiping wood and stone. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's like how you got to be first humble yourself as a child. You know what I'm saying? You know, that brother got to realize he's following some kind of Arab religion. You know what I'm saying? And he's not really doing anything, you know, at all. You know what I'm saying? That stone or that rock over there in Mecca is not going to save anybody, but sit in the same spot. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do nothing. Right. And be dumb. Right. You know, it's not going to do anything. You know, it takes the living God to change this place. You know what I'm saying? The God of Israel. All right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my class. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is the I.S.U.P.K. starting in 1 West 125th Street back in 1969 under Commanding General YAHANNA. I'm saying not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Also, make sure you pay your tithes and your camp funds. Check out Just Laundry Products on Etsy.com. And Shalom Yahabashim Yahushai to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alatha to the sisters.